For the past 7 years, I have been a Costco member who actually tracks what quietly disappears from warehouses. Not the viral stuff everyone panic buys. The items that just vanish with zero announcement. And 2026 is shaping up to be brutal. I have a contact who works in vendor relations at a regional distribution center. 18 years in procurement. He gave me a list last month that made my stomach drop. While everyone is loading up on the same obvious pantry items, there are 11 staples getting discontinued that nobody is talking about yet. Number 6 is sitting in your local Costco right now for under $20. And when I tell you what it is, you're going to sprint to your warehouse. Here's the problem. When Costco discontinues something, it is gone. No warning email. No final sale announcement. 1 week it is there. Next week the pallet is replaced with organic kale chips or some other nonsense. Back in late 2022, they discontinued a specific olive oil brand I had been buying for 4 years. I went in on a Tuesday, completely gone, replaced by a brand that cost $6 more per bottle and tasted like lawn clippings. I learned my lesson that day. If you see the asterisk on the price tag, that is your only warning. If you are not checking every trip, you are already behind. So here are the 11 pantry staples Costco is quietly killing off in 2026, and what you need to do before they vanish for good. And if you are not subscribed, do that right now, because next week I am revealing which Costco bulk items are actually a total ripoff compared to regular grocery stores. You do not want to miss that. Number 1. Kirkland Signature Organic Coconut Oil, the 84-ounce tub, asterisk, asterisk. This one sounds boring, but it is absolute gold. This is not the refined stuff that smells like nothing. This is virgin cold press and packed in a food-grade plastic tub that will outlast your car. Here is what nobody talks about. Coconut oil does not just sit in your pantry as a cooking fat. It has a shelf life of 2 to 3 years unopened. And even after you crack it, the lauric acid content makes it naturally antimicrobial. I have had an open tub in my pantry for 14 months. Still smells like a tropical vacation. No rancidity. 0. Last spring, I had a week where my power flickered 3 times during storms. Fridge was unreliable. I cooked everything in coconut oil on my camp stove because it stays stable at high heat and does not need refrigeration. Eggs, vegetables, even pan-fried bread. Everything tasted better than it had any right to. Here's what I do. I keep 1 tub open in the kitchen, 2 sealed in the pantry. I use it for everything. Roasting vegetables, greasing pans, even mixing into oatmeal for extra calories when I need them. Dead simple. 1 tablespoon has 120 calories and 14 grams of fat. Your body needs fat. Not wants. Needs. The 84-ounce tub costs around $19 at Costco right now. That is about 23 cents per ounce. Meanwhile, at regular grocery stores, you are paying 40 to 50 cents per ounce for the exact same virgin coconut oil in a tiny jar. Do the math. You are spending double for less product and worse packaging. And here is why this survives a shortage. Most people think coconut oil is just for keto people or health nuts. Wrong. When grocery stores got hammered in early 2020, coconut oil sat untouched while the vegetable oil and canola oil shelves were stripped bare. People do not know what to do with it, which means you will always find it, until Costco stops carrying it. Then you're stuck paying grocery store prices or ordering it online from some overpriced wellness brand. Look, pantry staples are getting more expensive every single quarter, and most people are just guessing at what to stock. I put together a free Costco Pantry Priority Guide that lists the exact items you should grab before prices jump again or they disappear completely. It is based on price-per-serving data and real shelf life numbers, not guesses. You can download it free at the link in the description. Stop throwing money at random bulk buys and start stocking smart. Number 2, Kirkland Signature Organic Quinoa, the 4-pound bag, asterisk, asterisk. This one is going to surprise you. Quinoa has a reputation for being expensive hippie food that tastes like dirt, but Costco's organic quinoa is priced so low compared to anywhere else that it is actually cheaper per serving than white rice at most grocery stores. And the reason it is getting discontinued is simple. It does not move fast enough compared to the trendy ancient grains they are pushing now, like farro and freekeh. Here is the insight nobody knows. Quinoa is a complete protein. That means it has all 9 essential amino acids your body cannot make on its own. Rice does not have that. Pasta does not have that. Oats do not have that. 1 cup of cooked quinoa gives you 8 grams of protein and 5 grams of fiber. If you are building a pantry for actual nutrition and not just calories, this is non-negotiable, and it stores forever. I have quinoa in a sealed container from 3 years ago. I opened it last month to test it. Cooked up perfect. No stale smell, no weird texture. Just worked. Here's what I do. I cook quinoa exactly like rice. 2 parts water, 1 part quinoa. Bring it to a boil, cover. Simmer for 15 minutes. Done. I mix it with canned black beans, salsa, and cheese. That is a complete meal. Or I cook it in chicken broth and toss in frozen vegetables. It absorbs flavor like a sponge. The 4-pound bag at Costco is about $14. That is $3.50 per pound. At Whole Foods or Target, you are paying $6 to $8 per pound for organic quinoa in those sad little 1-pound bags. You are paying double, sometimes triple, for the exact same thing. And here is why it will still be available when other grains are not. Quinoa is not on the panic buy list. During shortages, people grab rice, pasta, flour, beans. Quinoa sits there because most folks do not know how to cook it or think it is too fancy. That is your advantage. While everyone is fighting over jasmine rice, you walk past them and grab the 4-pound bag of complete protein that nobody else is touching. Number 3. Kirkland's Signature Organic No Salt Seasoning. The 14.5-ounce bottle. Asterisk, asterisk. Number 3 is going to sound boring until you realize what it actually does. This is not just some bland spice blend. This is a 21 seasoning mixed with no salt, no sugar, no fillers. Just dried garlic, dried onion, black pepper, red pepper, turmeric, coriander, cumin, and a dozen other spices. And the reason Costco is cutting it is because they are replacing it with smaller, trendier seasoning blends that cost more per ounce and appeal to recipe bloggers. Here is what nobody talks about. Salt is cheap, and it is everywhere. But quality dried spices are expensive, and they lose potency over time. This blend gives you restaurant-level flavor without adding sodium, which means you control exactly how much salt goes into your food. I have used this on roasted chicken, scrambled eggs, roasted potatoes, even popcorn. It makes everything taste like you spent an hour prepping when you spent 30 seconds shaking a bottle. Last fall, I meal prepped for 2 weeks using nothing but chicken thighs, rice, frozen broccoli, and this seasoning. Every meal tasted different because I changed up how much seasoning I used and what I paired it with. No food fatigue. No decision exhaustion. Food monotony makes you stupid when you need to be smart most. This bottle solves that. Here is what I do. I hit everything with this before cooking. Meat, vegetables, grains. Shake it on, toss it, cook it. That is it. The 14.5-ounce bottle at Costco is around $8. That is 55 cents per ounce. Compare that to buying individual spice jars at the grocery store. A small jar of cumin alone is $4. Garlic powder is another $3. You are looking at $50 to $60 to replicate this blend buying individual spices, and they will take up half your spice cabinet. And here is why it survives a shortage. Spices are not a panic buy category. People grab rice, beans, canned goods. Spices are an afterthought. But 3 weeks into eating plain rice and canned beans, you're going to lose your mind if you do not have a way to make it taste like actual food. This seasoning is the difference between choking down food and actually wanting to eat. And when Costco discontinues it, your option is paying 2 to 3 times more per ounce for inferior blends at regular stores. Number 4. Kirkland's Signature Organic Tomato Paste. The 12-pack of 6-ounce cans. Asterisk, asterisk. This one sounds boring, but it is absolute gold. Most people do not realize that tomato paste is one of the most concentrated, nutrient-dense, shelf-stable foods you can store. 6 ounces of tomato paste is roughly the equivalent of 2 pounds of fresh tomatoes, cooked down and concentrated. That means you get all the lycopene, all the vitamin C, all the potassium, and it can the size of your fist that lasts for 3 years unopened. Here is the insight nobody knows. Tomato paste is not just for making spaghetti sauce. It is a base for almost every savory dish on the planet. Soups, stews, curries, chili, braised meats, rice dishes. 1 tablespoon of tomato paste adds depth and umami that you cannot get from ketchup or tomato sauce. It makes cheap food taste expensive. I have made entire meals from rice, canned beans, tomato paste, and spices that tasted like I ordered takeout. 2 winters ago, I was snowed in for 9 days. No grocery trips. I lived off my pantry. Tomato paste turned plain white rice and canned chickpeas into a curry that my family actually asked for again. It turned ground beef and pasta into a bolognese that lasted 3 meals. It is the difference between surviving and actually eating well. Here is what I do. I always add 1 or 2 tablespoons to anything I am cooking that needs richness. Soups, stews, ground meat. I squeeze it straight from the can into the pot and stir. The tomato paste at Costco, 12 cans for around $11, works out to about 92 cents per can. At the regular grocery store, you are paying $2 or more per can for organic tomato paste. You are paying double for worse packaging in fewer cans. And here is why it survives a shortage. Tomato paste sits in the middle of the aisle where nobody goes. It is not sexy. It is not viral. People grab canned tomatoes, tomato sauce, marinara. Tomato paste is ignored because they do not know what to do with it. That is your edge. When the canned goods aisle gets demolished, tomato paste will still be sitting there until Costco stops stocking it. Then you are paying double at Safeway or ordering cases online at markup prices. Number 5. Kirkland's Signature Organic Raw Almonds, the 3-pound bag. Asterisk, asterisk. Number 5 is one I did not appreciate until I actually ran the numbers. Almonds are expensive everywhere, but Costco's organic raw almonds are priced so aggressively compared to regular grocery stores that you are basically getting them at wholesale cost. And the reason they are discontinuing them is because they are shifting toward flavored and roasted nut options that have better margins. Here is what nobody talks about. Almonds are calorie-dense, nutrient-packed, and they store for a year or more in a sealed container without going rancid. 1 ounce of almonds, that is about 23 nuts, gives you 6 grams of protein, 3.5 grams of fiber, and 14 grams of healthy fats. That is a complete snack that keeps you full for hours. During a shortage or an emergency, calorie density matters. You cannot eat celery sticks and expect to have energy. You need fat and protein. Almonds deliver both. Last summer, I went on a road trip with my family. No fast food stops. I packed 3 bags of these almonds, some dried fruit, and cheese sticks. We saved over $100 in highway rest stop garbage and actually felt better. No sugar crash. No bloated fast food regret. Just steady energy. Here is what I do. I portion them into 1-cup containers and keep them in the pantry. Grab-and-go snacks. I also throw them into oatmeal, salads, stir-fries. They add crunch and nutrition to anything. The 3-pound bag at Costco is about $17. That is about $5.67 per pound. At regular grocery stores, organic raw almonds are $10 to $13 per pound. You are paying double, sometimes more, for the exact same product in a smaller bag with a fancier label. And here is why it survives a shortage. Almonds are not a panic buy item. People grab canned goods, rice, pasta. Nuts are an afterthought. But 2 weeks into a crisis, when you're sick of carbs and your body is screaming for fat and protein, you are going to wish you had stocked nuts. Almonds are shelf-stable, portable, nutrient-dense. And when Costco stops carrying the 3-pound organic bags, you are stuck paying grocery store prices or ordering online from brands that charge double. Number 6. Kirkland's Signature Organic Chicken Stock, the 6-pack of 32-ounce cartons. Asterisk, asterisk. This is the one I mentioned in the hook. Number 6. And when I tell you this, you are going to realize how underrated it is. Chicken stock is not just for making soup. It is a foundation of flavor for almost every savory dish. Rice cooked in chicken stock tastes 10 times better than rice cooked in water. Quinoa, couscous pasta, same thing. 1-to-1 swap. Water out, stock in. Instant upgrade. Here is the insight nobody knows. Organic chicken stock at regular grocery stores costs $4 to $6 per 32-ounce carton. Costco sells a 6-pack for around $13. That is about $2.17 per carton. You are paying half price for the exact same organic certification, the same ingredients, the same shelf life. And the reason they are discontinuing it is because they are shifting to bone broth, which costs more and has better marketing appeal to wellness shoppers. 3 months ago, I used chicken stock to cook an entire week of meals. Rice and beans, lentil soup, braised chicken thighs, mashed potatoes made with stock instead of milk. Every single meal tasted like I had been cooking all day. I had not. I just swapped water for stock. That is it. Here's what I do. I always cook grains in stock. Always. Rice, quinoa, farro, whatever. Boil the stock, add the grain. Cook as normal. The difference in flavor is insane. I also use it to deglaze pans after searing meat. Scrape up the brown bits. Add stock, reduce. Instant pan sauce. The 6-pack at Costco is about $13. That is 6 cartons for the price of 2 at a regular grocery store. You are saving over $20 per 6-pack compared to buying them individually. And each carton is shelf-stable for over a year unopened. Once opened, it lasts a week in the fridge, or you freeze in ice cube trays and use it as needed. And here is why it survives a shortage. Stock is not on the panic buy list. People grab canned soup, not stock. But canned soup is expensive per serving and loaded with sodium. Stock lets you control exactly what goes into your food, and it is cheaper per meal. When Costco discontinues this, you are back to paying $4 to $6 per carton at Safeway or ordering cases online at markup. Number 7. Kirkland Signature Organic Maple Syrup, the 1-liter bottle. Asterisk, asterisk. Number 7 is going to surprise people who think maple syrup is just for pancakes. Real maple syrup, not the fake corn syrup garbage, is a shelf-stable sweetener that lasts indefinitely and brings actual nutrition to the table. It has manganese, zinc, and antioxidants. Compare that to white sugar or honey. Honey crystallizes. Sugar is just empty calories. Maple syrup stays liquid, never spoils, and adds depth to both sweet and savory dishes. Here is what nobody talks about. Maple syrup is not just for breakfast. I use it in marinades for chicken and pork. I use it in salad dressings. I drizzle it over roasted vegetables like carrots and Brussels sprouts. It caramelizes beautifully and adds a complex sweetness you cannot get from sugar. And the reason Costco is discontinuing it is because they are shifting to smaller bottles that cost more per ounce and appeal to people who think they do not use maple syrup often enough to justify a liter. Last winter, I made a glaze for roasted salmon using maple syrup, soy sauce, and garlic. 3 ingredients. It tasted like something from a restaurant. My kids, who normally hate fish, asked for seconds. That is the power of real maple syrup. It makes cheap ingredients taste expensive. Here's what I do. I keep the bottle in the pantry, not the fridge. It does not need refrigeration to stay good. I pour into a smaller squeeze bottle for daily use and refill as needed. I use it in coffee, oatmeal, yogurt, marinades, glazes, everywhere. The 1-liter bottle at Costco is about $18. That is about 53 cents per ounce. At regular grocery stores, real organic maple syrup is $1 or more per ounce. You are paying double for a fraction of the product. And it is not even the same quality half the time. Here is why it survives a shortage. Maple syrup is a luxury item in most people's minds. They grab sugar, flour, honey. Maple syrup sits there. But sugar does not bring flavor complexity. Honey crystallizes and has a strong flavor that does not work in every dish. Maple syrup is the versatile sweetener that nobody fights over until Costco stops carrying it. Then you're stuck paying grocery store prices or ordering online from Vermont farms that charge $25 per bottle. Number 8. Kirkland Signature Organic Canned Black Beans, the 8-pack of 15-ounce cans. Asterisk, asterisk. Number 8 sounds basic, but it is a pantry powerhouse. Black beans are one of the cheapest, most nutritious, most shelf-stable foods on the planet. One can give you 25 grams of protein and 25 grams of fiber. That is more protein than a chicken breast and more fiber than most people get in an entire day. And it costs about $1 per can at Costco. Here is the insight nobody knows. Canned black beans are already cooked. You do not need to soak them. You do not need to boil them for an hour. You open a can, rinse them, heat them, eat them, 5 minutes from pantry to plate. I have made entire meals from black beans, rice, salsa, and cheese. That is 4 ingredients. Complete nutrition. Costs under $3 to feed 4 people. You cannot get that from takeout or meal kits. 2 years ago, I had a week where I was slammed with work and had 0 time to cook. I lived off black beans and rice cooked in chicken stock with this no-salt seasoning I mentioned earlier. Every meal took 10 minutes. I felt better that week than I do when I am eating normal. No processed junk, no sugar crashes, just steady energy. Here is what I do. I always keep at least 2 8-packs in the pantry. I rinse the beans to reduce sodium, then heat them in a pan with cumin, garlic powder, and a splash of the liquid from the can. That is it. I eat them with rice, in tacos, over salads, straight from a bowl. The 8-pack at Costco is about $9. That is $1.12 per can. At regular grocery stores, organic canned black beans are $2 or more per can. You are paying double for the exact same product in the exact same size can. And here is why it survives a shortage. Dried beans get grabbed first because preppers know they last forever. Canned beans are ignored because people assume they are less valuable. Wrong. Canned beans are already cooked, ready to eat, and they last 3 to 5 years. They are more valuable in a real crisis because you do not need fuel or time to make them edible. And when Costco discontinues this 8-pack, you are back to paying double at the grocery store or buying the non-organic version that tastes like tin. Number 9. Kirkland's Signature Organic Extra Virgin Olive Oil, the 2-liter bottle, asterisk, asterisk. Number 9 is the olive oil I mentioned earlier, but this time it is the organic version. And the reason this one is getting cut is because Costco is consolidating their olive oil offerings into fewer SKUs with better margins. They are keeping the non-organic version and killing the organic one. And that is a mistake for anyone who cares about quality. Here is what nobody talks about. Not all olive oil is the same. Extra virgin means it is cold-pressed, unrefined, and has the highest polyphenol content. That is the stuff that gives olive oil its health benefits. Heart health, anti-inflammatory properties, antioxidants. Regular olive oil or light olive oil is refined, stripped of nutrients, and basically just expensive vegetable oil. The organic certification matters because olives are heavily sprayed with pesticides. Organic means you are not eating pesticide residue every time you drizzle oil on your salad. Last year, I compared this Costco olive oil to a $20 bottle from Whole Foods. Blind taste test. Same flavor. Same color, same peppery finish. The only difference was the price. Costco was $8 per liter. Whole Foods was $20 for 500 milliliters. That is 4 times the price for half the product. Insane. Here's what I do. I use olive oil for everything. Salad dressings, sautéing vegetables, drizzling over pasta, dipping bread. I keep 1 bottle open in the kitchen and 2 sealed in the pantry. Olive oil lasts about 2 years unopened if you store it in a cool, dark place. Once opened, use it within 6 months for best flavor. The 2-liter bottle at Costco is about $16. That is $8 per liter. At regular grocery stores, organic extra virgin olive oil is $15 to $25 per liter. You're paying double or triple for the same thing. And here is why it survives a shortage. Olive oil is not a panic buy item. People grab vegetable oil, canola oil, butter. Olive oil sits there because it is perceived as fancy or expensive, but is actually cheaper per use than butter and healthier than any seed oil. When Costco discontinues this, you're stuck paying grocery store prices or ordering online from importers that mark it up. Number 10. Kirkland's Signature Organic Raw Honey, the 3-pound jar, asterisk, asterisk. Number 10 is one of the most underrated pantry staples on the planet. Raw honey is the only food that never expires. Archaeologists have found honey in Egyptian tombs that is still edible, 3,000 years old. Still good. That is because honey is naturally antimicrobial. It is too acidic and too low in moisture for bacteria to survive. As long as you keep the lid on tight, it lasts forever. Here is the insight nobody knows. Raw honey is not the same as regular honey. Regular honey is heated and filtered, which destroys the enzymes, antioxidants, and pollen that make honey valuable. Raw honey is unprocessed. It still is all the good stuff. It has antibacterial properties. It soothes sore throats. It is a natural cough suppressant. And it is a better sweetener than sugar because it has a lower glycemic index and does not spike your blood sugar as hard. Last winter, my kid had a cold that would not quit. I gave him a spoonful of this raw honey mixed with warm water and lemon every night before bed. Cough stopped. Slept through the night. No cough syrup. No doctor visit. Just honey. Here is what I do. I keep honey in the pantry, not the fridge. If it crystallizes, I put the jar in warm water for 10 minutes, and it turns back to liquid. I use it in tea, oatmeal, yogurt, salad dressings, marinades. Everywhere I would normally use sugar, I use honey instead. The 3-pound jar at Costco is about $18. That is $6 per pound. At regular grocery stores, organic raw honey is $12 to $15 per pound. You are paying double or more for smaller jars with fancier labels. And here is why it survives a shortage. Honey is not on the panic buy list. People grab sugar, flour, canned goods. Honey sits there because it is perceived as a luxury or a specialty item. But honey is more valuable than sugar. It never expires. It has medicinal properties. It is a natural preservative. When Costco discontinues this 3-pound jar, you are stuck paying grocery store prices for tiny jars that cost twice as much per ounce. Number 11. Kirkland Signature Organic Peanut Butter. The 2-pack of 28-ounce jars. Asterisk, asterisk. Number 11 is the final one, and it is one of the most versatile, calorie-dense, shelf-stable foods you can stock. Organic peanut butter with nothing but peanuts and salt. No added sugar. No hydrogenated oils. Just peanuts. And the reason Costco is discontinuing it is because they are shifting to single jars with better packaging and higher margins. Here is what nobody talks about. Peanut butter is a survival food disguised as a sandwich spread. 2 tablespoons have 190 calories, 8 grams of protein, and 16 grams of fat. That is serious nutrition in a food that lasts a year or more and requires zero preparation. You can eat it straight from the jar with a spoon. You can mix it into oatmeal. You can make sauces with it. You can bake with it. It is endlessly versatile. 3 years ago, I went on a camping trip where our cooler failed on day 2. Everything that needed refrigeration was toast. We lived off peanut butter, crackers, dried fruit, and trail mix for 4 days. Nobody starved. Nobody complained. Peanut butter saved the trip. Here's what I do. I keep 1 jar open in the pantry and 2 sealed as backup. I eat it with apples, bananas, celery. I mix it into smoothies. I make peanut sauce for stir fries using peanut butter, soy sauce, lime juice, and garlic. 3 minutes. Restaurant quality sauce. The 2-pack at Costco is about $13. That is $6.50 per 28-ounce jar. At regular grocery stores, organic peanut butter with nothing but peanuts and salt is $9 to $12 per jar. You are paying almost double for the exact same product. And here is why it survives a shortage. Peanut butter is a comfort food, not a survival food in most people's minds. They grab canned goods, rice, beans. Peanut butter is an afterthought. But peanut butter is calorie-dense, protein-rich, and requires zero cooking. It is more valuable in a crisis than pasta or rice because you can eat it immediately. And when Costco discontinues this 2-pack, you are stuck paying grocery store prices for single jars that cost almost as much as a 2-pack used to. While everyone else is going to panic when these items disappear and scramble to find replacements at double the price, you now know exactly which 11 staples to stock before Costco pulls them. These are not viral products. These are not trendy. These are the quiet workhorses that keep your pantry functional, your meals flavorful, and your budget intact. Drop a comment and tell me which one of these you're grabbing first. And if you have not already, subscribe, because next week I am revealing the 10 bulk items everyone thinks are Costco deals, but are actually cheaper at regular grocery stores. You are going to be shocked at number 3. Do not miss it.